Welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host Pinky, and today we're going to be talking about the Married at First Sight reunion. So if you'd like to see more, then just stay tuned. But before we begin, I would like for everyone to check out my website, LaVidaRosaStyle.com, where you can find cute accessories like the ones I'm wearing right now, these earrings. The link is below. Like, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into this video. I am so mad. They are really milking this whole situation with a two-part reunion. I can literally see where they brought certain people in or where they stretched certain segments out, showing things they wouldn't normally show, putting things in there that would normally be on the cutting room floor, simply so that they could stretch this out. And it was so insulting. I low-key, y'all, there's so many times like I started and stopped this reunion because I was just so over it. Like, I have to say this every single time, like, I hate the direction that Married at First Sight is going. I used to have so much more respect for this show. Now I'm just like, wow, y'all really are taking the caliber of this show down to the ground. Like, y'all really stretching out a two-part reunion like this is Love and Hip Hop or Real Housewives of Atlanta. Not having all this salacious drama, not having, you know, people on here with short tempers and want to hop up and fight somebody anytime they disagree with them. Have unstable people that will do that sort of thing because they want TV time, you know what I'm saying? These are supposed to be people with stable jobs and things to lose, and so they're not gonna act a fool on TV for absolutely no reason. At the most, they'll probably like defend themselves, and they may drop a little tea here or there, but for the most part they hold their composure. So to bring somebody on here like y'all did and then exploit it further, we'll get to it. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start off with Virginia and Eric. All I can say is what I perceive from them, and it seems like they saw the show and they are doing a little bit of damage control. Especially Eric. But Eric even said it, like, he saw himself on TV, he didn't like what he saw, and he wants to change that. At the end of the day, I can only respect that. You know, I can respect the fact that he saw something he didn't like and he wants to change it. Good. I hope Virginia did the same thing. I didn't hear her say that. I really can't go based off of y'all's word, because y'all would tell people that y'all were doing just fine and be, you know, going off and arguing and pressing each other and having panic attacks. So I don't know. Y'all could be doing good, or y'all could. We don't know. I'm just gonna go off y'all word. She said that she moved into his condo and he's been making it comfortable for her. She took the second bedroom and kind of made it her closet, and I guess like a little area for her animals, which is good. I'm glad he kept his word with that. She questions whether he's actually allergic because he had not taken any medicine for his allergies to cats until like the third weekend, but he said he kept his distance. I don't know. Y'all tell me, do y'all think he was lying about that allergy? She says that her partying and drinking has never been a problem. It seems like she slowed down. Like, it seems like she has calmed down with the partying and drinking. I think in her mind, when she first got married, she didn't want him to come in and like change her, and she was just like, I'm independent, I'm gonna stay that way. But then when she actually got in a relationship, she realized, I do want to spend time with this person because this is my husband, and this is how you act when you're married. But at the same time, don't act like you drinking. Eric didn't bring that up as if it was a problem. Like, let's not act like, don't try to do this revisionist history like we didn't see what we saw. Eric did complain about you drinking and partying. So then they asked her about her calling Eric controlling, and she said controlling was the wrong word. I feel like in more than one instance, Eric has shown himself to be a little bit controlling. I mean, I can't lie, their whole segment just felt like they were trying to like tell us they did better over the season than what they did, and we actually saw something else. And then they brought the mom out. She loves Virginia. See, this is one of the segments that I feel like they were really trying to stretch something out. When he said that she was the first parent to be featured on a reunion, there's a reason why. We don't really care about the parents. She wasn't featured in the season. Like, why would we care what his mama have to say? No shade to Eric's mama, but she was barely featured beyond the wedding. So why? That's good that she, you know, likes Virginia, but who cares? Y'all could have said that. Y'all could have told us that yourselves, and I would have believed you. So, and then Virginia talked about her little 50-50 thing about kids. She said that She felt like if she met someone and he didn't want to have kids, she would be fine with that. And if he did want to have kids, then she would be fine with that. And I just feel like you don't really want to have kids if you say something like that, because people that want to have kids, they're not going to be okay with not having kids. She did say that she wants kids, but not anytime soon. And I hope she really, you know, makes sure that she wants to be a mother before she becomes a mother, because that could be tragic, and you don't want your kids to have a traumatic childhood the way you did. All right, let's move on to Clara and Ryan. Ryan, you went from an interesting hair and beard combination to a mustache that curled up on the end. So they say that they have better communication off camera. I could believe that. I think Ryan is a severely private person. I don't even understand why he signed up for a show to get married and put his private life out there, because he seems to be very guarded. So I don't know why he did a TV show where people will be in your business. Why didn't you find your own wife so that you could have this private life that you seem to clearly crave? Like, I just, that's the one thing about Ryan. I mean, he's a mystery, period. And I can relate to Ryan because I'm the same way. Like, even though I'm on YouTube making this video right now, I don't really talk about my personal life on here. You know what I'm saying? I am very private when it comes to that. So I get it. And that's why I would never, that's one of the main reasons I would never do a show like Married at First Sight, because I would never want my business out there, especially for, you know, I wouldn't want my intimate life. I don't want to discuss that with the world. So I can understand that. But why are you on TV is what I don't get. That's the part that don't make no sense. That's why I think he gets so much criticism, is because you're so private, but you decide to come on a very public, popular TV show. One thing I love that they said is they are trying to resolve how they will raise their children before they have any. I totally applaud them for being self-aware enough to know that their differences in religion are that could be a huge like deal breaker when it comes to raising your kids. So I'm glad y'all not bringing no kids into that without deciding what y'all want to do, because I was a little concerned about that. They said that they are having a renewal ceremony, which I thought was cute. You know, prove us all wrong. He told us, yeah, you know, we had some naysayers. He called out Kevin because Kevin said he didn't think that was gonna work. But y'all, I was happy for them until we got to this part. Ryan still had not said he loved her. Y'all, I was so angry for Clara, because I know that was eating her up inside. She'll never say it. She'll never tell us now, because they seem like they're going to dip off after this reunion. But, he still had not said it. How y'all going to have a vow renewal and you still haven't told this woman you love her? You still haven't expressed to her through words how much you love her. Like, what are you waiting on? And it literally took Kevin prying, prodding, poking, dragging him by that little strip of hair he had on top of his head to finally pull it out of him to say that he loved her. I just don't get it, y'all. I don't get it. Like, and when he finally, well, I think I do. You think? And here go Clara. Oh my goodness, she acted just like how Paige does whenever Chris does the bare minimum. Clara does the exact same thing for Ryan. You do? She said that he's expressed it through his actions, but for him to finally, I don't know. It's just the fact that someone had to pull it out of him. Like, why couldn't you say it? Like, why did it take a stranger, someone you don't know, to pull that out of you? Would y'all still be sitting here in limbo with him saying that had Kevin not held his feet to the fire? I don't get it, but if she like it, I love it, okay? Then they made Ryan watch Clara talking about their lack of intimacy issues, the one they caught on security footage and where she was going off and going in. And, you know, Ryan took it with stride. He said he felt bad that he made her feel that way. And so then Kevin asked, have y'all consummated your marriage? And they refused to answer. And I'm just like, first of all, I do think they have. I do. I think that's why they didn't want to tell. But Clara had that look like, I did. But I'm just like, how y'all not gonna answer? And that was y'all main storyline. One of the main things y'all were dealing with in y'all relationship, and y'all don't even want to address it at the reunion. Farewell. Okay, goodbye. I wish y'all the best. I hope y'all have a fairy tale ending, but bye-bye. We're sending you on your way. They said they prefer no cameras anyway. Bye-bye. Okay? Let's have a graceful exit the door. Okay? I'm done. I don't need to hear nothing else. Let's get into Brianna and Vincent. He has hair. He has hair. And I was a little thrown off. And then Kevin was like, people have been comparing them to Woody and Amani. I'm like, how? Who's Woody? Who's Amani? No, don't see it. Is it because they were the only somewhat compatible couple this season? I don't get it. Maybe I would have been feeling the same way had we not had these last couple of episodes. But y'all know those last few episodes changed my opinion of them completely. So they are staying at his place. She said she learned she could not have it her way all the time. She's learning how to compromise more. And so she said some of the things she was compromising on is sometimes the bed is going to be unmade and sometimes the dishes are going to be on the sink. I'm just like, wait a minute. So we can't have the bed made up and we can't wash dishes after we eat. Let me tell y'all something. I don't feel like that's a hard thing to ask of somebody, is to make up the bed when you get up and to wash the dishes when you get done eating. I wash my dish every single time I eat. Every single time. And when I cook, I clean, I wash the pots and pans as I, cook. Okay? That's just the type of person that I am. So I don't think that's hard to clean your dishes. We grown. Ain't nobody a child in here. I could see it better if y'all had children. Okay, some dishes could get in the sink. But just wash your dish when you're done. It's not hard. But if that's what you want to compromise on, what is Vincent compromising on? That's what I want to know. It's always on Brianna. Brianna has to stop being bossy. Brianna has to stop wanting things her way. And she has to learn how to compromise and all. What is he compromising on? We never get that. Oh, but I forgot this part. He helps by putting stuff in the dishwasher. But she says that he still wines and dines her. So maybe the trade-off is enough, They said they're going to buy a house eventually and they want kids. They said they even want to buy a condo in the Dominican Republic, and that would be really nice. I'm not even going to lie. I would love to visit the DR. They also said they want kids in the future. They babysat his nephew. And, Vincent, he was the one that was demanding children, and she was the one that was nervous because of her, hypertension. And the roles have been reversed. And after dealing with that child, he's just like, I don't know. We could wait. And she has baby fever. So then they talk about her family calling her bossy over and over. And now he wants to say he didn't take the bossy warning as bad. But didn't you just say when you heard that during your vows that it was a turn off? You just said that not too long ago. And see, I knew you was playing tit for tat in the moment. I knew you was doing that just to hurt her feelings. I think he was being dishonest back then. He's trying to clean it up now. But don't try to act like you didn't say that. Like, Kevin, this is a time for you to call him out. But what about when you said it back then? I want somebody to hold his feet to the fire. That's what I want. That's what I want. Like, I feel like Brianna, she has to sit here and defend herself like over the smallest of things. But when he does things that are really hurtful and done purposefully to hurt her, people just overlook it. They just act like I feel like that's something he should have had to answer for. So then they talk about Brianna being a black woman in a male dominated field. She's a black woman doing it. That's not easy. Okay, that should be commended and uplifted. And I'm glad Vincent did do that. He said that he suffers from anxiety and he was nervous because he knew this would be seen by millions of people. And he was so worried about his perception to others that he couldn't be himself. And it's like, I could see that. I knew that he was highly insecure. He just wanted to look cool. And when he didn't look cool, he would throw a tantrum and pout and, have an attitude towards her. And I just think she deserves a public apology for that. Like, you would literally get mad over the smallest things. Like, y'all would have this jokey, goofy relationship, and you would poke at her and joke on her, and as soon as she would do the same thing to you, you would make it seem like she was being rude, being bossy, aggressive, too assertive. Like, you would put all these nasty labels on her, and I really feel like you should apologize to her, because it was you. You were experiencing anxiety. You need to learn coping skills to deal with that. And the fact that she received all that blame and never got an apology, a public apology, I didn't like it, y'all. I didn't like this. I'm sorry. And I know, we're supposed to be feeling fuzzy about this couple, and I just can't, as long as these discrepancies are just staring at me in the face. And this is what I'm talking about with editing. This is what I'm talking about with how they're presenting this show. They have narratives for everyone. The narrative for this couple is that Brianna is bossy and Vincent is sweet and lovable, and they tried to play into that as much as they could. And it presented this couple in a very dishonest way. And that's why I feel like y'all are trying to play with my intelligence. I watched the season. I know what happened. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I can't just get into the like fuzzy feelings they're trying to force us to have. I wish them the best. I hope he gets the help that he needs to deal with that anxiety. So let's talk about the ladies. Really, all I want to mention about this is that when Haley was talking about Jacob, she sounded exactly like Chris. She sounded exactly like Chris, and let me tell you how. This is what she implied. She slept with Jacob trying to get a connection with him because she wasn't physically attracted to him in the first place. Isn't that the same thing that Chris did to Paige? Oh, I'm not attracted to you, but I slept with you to try to feel closer to you, to try to get a connection. Haley did the exact same thing, and nobody called her out on it. Nobody. Then to make matters worse, she made it seem like that, like her intimate experience with him was just so terrible, and Kevin was trying to get her to clear this man's name, and she literally would not do it. She kept laughing, and it was so mean-spirited. It was so nasty. It was so rude. Like, she could have, like, I'm not saying lie. She is trying to hurt his feelings. She's trying to present him in the worst light and make herself the victim. She's trying to do it. She's playing into this narrative so hard, and I'm so glad so many people are able to see through it. Clara did what Haley should have done. We just were not on the same page. We just didn't connect. Because it's fine. If you didn't connect with this man, y'all never had any chemistry, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. Because a lot of people want to defend Haley. She can't help that she's not attracted to that man. She don't like his personality. That's fine. It's the way that you deal with it. She treats him in a nasty way. Like when she was at the hotel the next day after they were intimate, and she completely ditched him to hang out with the rest of the couples. And when he walked down there and caught her, she ran off like a little kid. Like, that is such a mean girl thing to do. And she's been showing her true colors since the beginning. She just trifling. And I see why he blocked her on everything. I see why Jacob blocked her on everything. I would have done the same thing. So let's move on to Chris and Paige. So they said after decision day, they went to counseling. Yeah, Paige, your little speech that you gave on decision day, I knew you didn't mean it. I knew it. I knew it didn't mean nothing. Yeah, I knew it. You went to counseling with this man, and they even talked about moving in with each other. Child, he says that he's too immature for her, and Kevin kept asking Chris, making it seem like it was Chris's decision that they weren't together, and so Paige had to speak up. It's my decision too. Girl, if he wanted to be with you, you would be with him in a heartbeat. Stop it. Stop trying to save face at this reunion. I'm gonna let you have it though. I'm gonna let her salvage her dignity, because they played this next clip of him basically saying, you could have found anybody for me. You actually brought somebody this facially challenged. You could have gave me a black queen, a white queen, Hispanic queen. He really tore down her looks in a way that I think a black man should never do to a dark-skinned woman on a huge platform like this. It was disgraceful. It was even worse watching it the second time. And the fact that Paige had to sit there and listen to that, he really should have really got on his hands and knees and apologized. That was disgusting. That was a disgusting display. So he gave his little prepared answers. Kevin called him out for having these prepared answers. I'm sure Kevin knows all about that. He's a host. He interviews people all the time. He could tell media trained answer when he hears one. And Chris didn't even have sense enough to know that he was being called out. He claimed he didn't know Mercedes was pregnant until after the wedding. We'll go with that. Look, a lot of people don't believe this story. A lot of people don't believe that she was even pregnant. I'm not going to question that, because the woman could have actually been pregnant and could have actually lost her child. And I know that's devastating for a woman. And it could, it could be devastating for him too. So I'm not even going to press that issue. He would not answer whether he still loved Mercedes or whether she still has that Mercedes that he bought her out of respect for Paige. You didn't have respect for Paige this whole season. Now all of a sudden you want to have respect. I guess, child, he called himself redeeming himself on this reunion. I just thought it was annoying that he didn't answer any of the questions. You're the one who brought her on this show. You're the one who brought all this mess on here. You should have to answer all the questions. You was all bold during the season. Now you want to clam up when you have to answer something real. So this next part really truly shows how Married at First Sight is really milking this for as much as they can. They knew bringing this man out would be an instant altercation. They knew it. This is how I know this is the route they were going. Period. Like, they're gonna take full advantage of having Chris. I mean, just bringing the show to a new low. Y'all really wanted Jerry Springer drama at the reunion? That's what y'all really wanted? Y'all knew this was like striking a match and lighting some gas. Y'all already knew that. So, to Chris's surprise, they brought out Pastor Dwight. And Pastor Dwight's beard looked like you could put it on the way you put on a mask. It looked like you could just put it on behind his ears. But I would have to say Pastor Dwight has to love the drama just as much as anybody else for him to come on this show and do this. He already know what it was going to be. You had to know Chris was going to be trifling. You had to know that. And you still came on this show co-signing him and everything. I just don't appreciate that. I don't. So Chris said the reason why he's so angry with Pastor Dwight is because he met up with Paige behind his back. I'm the one who introduced you to her. You meet up with my wife behind my back. That's disrespectful. I'm sorry, Chris. You disrespect your wife more than anybody. And then he said, but I felt like he was diminishing Mercedes to try to uplift Paige. And it was like, and then I'm glad Kevin called him out, but you diminished Paige this whole season to uplift Mercedes. Chris is just childish. He was just like, well, I just refuse to mend anything today. Y'all brought him in behind my back. I'm not even gonna talk to him. I'm mad. I mean, he really acts like a rebellious teenager that needs to be in an alternative school. That's what this situation was giving me. It's giving me principal, rebellious teenage student. Pastor Dwight did say one thing that is completely true. Chris does not like correction. Anytime anybody gives Chris any sort of correction, he is going to flip out. He's going to have an excuse. He's going to react in a big way. And I think it's because he's never received correction as a child. He's never had to be held accountable for anything. I just really believe growing up, he just didn't have none of that. So when he said he doesn't like correction, child, he immediately proved his point by throwing a temper tantrum, immediately trying to curse him out, going off. He literally could not contain himself. He could not even sit back. That's what he was acting like an out of control teen. Like, he could not control his emotions. It's like his hormones were just like raging. Okay, Kevin was trying to be the good cop. Like, just sit there. I'm gonna sit here for you, Mr. Kev. I'm gonna sit here for you, Mr. Kev. I'm not here for him. I'm gonna sit there for you. That's the way he was at. He could not, like, I've never seen a grown man act like this before. He could not control himself. He couldn't sit in one spot. He had to keep moving forward and, going off. You ain't gonna talk to me like this. Like, calm down. I didn't like how Kevin asked Paige to calm him down. That is not Paige's responsibility. She ain't even trying to be married to this man no more. That's not her responsibility to calm him down. And second of all, she's in between two men. What do you expect her to do? No, Paige should not have stood up. No, Paige should not be holding him back. That is a grown man. Y'all need to bring security in here if y'all want somebody to calm him down. That is not fair. I did not like the way he tried to use. Please stop asking black women to come solve your problems. Please. She didn't have nothing to do with that. So this whole time he was up in arms, he would not let Pastor Dwight talk because his cards were being pulled, and Pastor Dwight knows where the bodies are buried. Okay, I'm sure he knows enough about Chris that he could reveal, and I feel like what Chris was trying to do is shut him down before anything too embarrassing came out. I really believe that, because the way he was, it was no reason for him to be snapping the way he was. He was like going too hard. So he eventually stormed out. It was like, come out to the parking lot. Basically threatening to fight and wanting to fight him and come out to the parking lot. Does anybody really believe Chris can fight? He just don't give me, I could see him getting whooped easily. He gives me all bark, no bite. Like, overall, I mean, you might as well have a trash reunion to end this trash season. Part 2, when does part 2 air? Next week. So yeah, I guess y'all can look forward to the recap next episode. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about my review down below. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? I would love to hear your opinion. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.